Okay, our previous video found the largest or the biggest score, best score for each student. Now we want to find the worst score, which would be the smallest number in an array. And let's uncomment the code that we have here. So we're going to ask which student they want to find the worst score for. They'll type in a number from 0 to 3, which will be input as a string. We will read the string, we will convert it to an integer and store it in student number. It needs to be between 0 and 3 or we'll have an array out of bounds error. Then we tell them that the worst score for the student that they selected is, and then we will try to find the minimum score. And this one is almost identical to this one up here. All we need to have is the array of integers. So our data structure is an array of student structs called student, and it is numbered from 0 to 3. We've got 4 elements in the array, and they're going to type in a specific number, and we're going to use that subscript to pick out one of these. So let's say we pick out this particular one right here. And the only two things I've got here are the name and the score, and the name is not really relevant to what we're doing here, so I can just pass in the score, which is an array of int. So all I need to do is have a function that will accept an array of ints and figure out the smallest number in the list, and we're good. So let's flip back over. So the min function is just like the max function, except we're going to turn this arrow around here. Now obviously we don't want to call our variable big if we're trying to find the smallest number, because that would be pretty misleading. But otherwise this is pretty similar, so I'm just going to save myself a little bit of work here by copying that to the clipboard, and then I'm going to free up a little space here and paste it in. Okay, now the name of it is going to be min, not max. I still want to find the size of the list, but instead of big, let's call it small. We'll assume that the first item in the list is the smallest one, and it is because it's the only one we've seen so far. And then I want to know if the current one is less than small. And if it is, then I want to keep track of it in my variable called small. And then I want to return that when I fall out of the loop. Okay? So let's go ahead and run this one. It'll print out the data for us. I'll have to answer a few questions about some of the other functions here. And we'll just do 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, the best score. And then the worst score, if I pick student number, let's pick student number 2, that'd be George. His worst score looks like it's an 82, and it's computing an 82 and returning it for us. And again, we could write a generic min function that will work for any list of integers, because what we need to do is we need to find out the smallest number on a list of integers. Even though it's part of another data structure, this component of the data structure itself is merely an array of integers.